All right, welcome back. We're moving on to the lightning cards for Opus 22 now. So we're starting off with the entire dredge package. Um, yeah, lead us off, Pat. I apologize for making you read the Warriors of Darkness and then this back to back.
Yeah.
All good. So the reason we call it dredge is it is from Magic the Gathering. Dredge is a mechanic where you flip cards from the top of your deck into your graveyard for an immediate benefit of drawing a card back from your graveyard. So in a similar fashion, this group of cards benefits from cards in your graveyard as well as enabling it by putting cards into your graveyard. We're going to start off with the Safer. 3CP Safer. When Safer into ETBs, you can put the top two cards of your deck into your break zone. When you do so, you get to choose a Cat 8 forward other than Safer in your break zone and bring it back to your hand. And whenever Safer attacks, choose a forward opponent controls. If there are 10 or more cards in your break zone, break it. He's joined by his two friends, Fujin and Raijin. They both have very similar abilities, so I'm just going to talk them. They're both 5Ks as printed. When they ETB, they both mill 2 from the top of your deck into your break zone. And they both have a clause where if they are milled from your deck, or if they're ever put into the break zone directly from your deck, you get to play them directly onto the field. And then if there are 10 or more cards in your break zone, Fujin gives Raijin and C for first strike and plus 2k, and Raijin gives Fujin and C for plus 2k and haste. Another one of
and
and
yeah,
himself.
and themselves,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And then Idea is another payoff for this archetype. So when Idea ETBs, you can search for a Cat 8 forward and add it to your hand. And you can put the top 2 cards of your deck into the break zone to give a forward minus 4k, but if there are 10 or more cards in your break zone, it's minus 8k instead until end of turn. You can only use this once per turn. And then Ultimecia is yet another payoff. Your cards in your break zone cannot be removed by any of your opponent's summons or abilities. And when Ultimecia ETBs, choose a forward. If you have 15 or more cards in your break zone, you gain control of it. It also has an S to choose a forward, and it loses 10k until end of turn. And it is a 9k.
So before we start, I'm gonna say that as soon as I saw Axis, I don't know how many sets. I was saying, I wish I could find the text, but I was saying to my group of friends, like, they're gonna make lightning into the dredge element because lightning was struggling to find like an identity. It kind of does what other colors do, and that's why lightning has generally felt weaker than a lot of the other colors because it just doesn't have its own identity. It used to be like the only straight break element and the choosing active forwards, but then every element started doing similar stuff. And I'm like, what's left? It's Dredge. We don't have Dredge in this game. If Dredge ever comes, it's going to be in Lightning. And effectively, here it is.
Yep.
You can go ahead, Chris, because I have so much. Well, I'm not going to summarize it, but I have a lot to say.
This is the deck to beat at the start of the set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what people are either playing or planning to beat for the first like 2 months for the set. I feel like.
Yep.
I feel like Fujin and Raijin are really annoying. I think the biggest, if I'm gonna call anything a mistake in this package, I think Raijin giving haste to all 3 of these fucking cards is so stupid. Like, there have been times where I wipe the board with a Shantoto, and then my opponent plays Fujin, or plays Cypher, and then Cypher flips Fujin, and then Fujin flips Raijin, and then I take 3 damage. And it's like, there's like, what are you going to do about that? Like, they just have this top, like this high roll that they always have access to flipping. Like they can just like randomly get it sometimes, and then you just take 3 points of damage. Like, it just feels terrible, but then it also feels bad when you like spend the entire game flipping cards and you never flip Fujin and Raijin. So like, it just feels bad from both angles, right? I guess the gambler types are gonna enjoy flipping their cards when they do hit their Fujin Raijin, and then it feels great. But I don't know. For me, like, this is the type of package that just always feels bad, no matter which side you're on. So I think that Cypher, being able to give Cypher haste is really dumb. Like, I think the haste is really the mistake of this package. I think the fact that we now have like a really aggressive deck that has probably, there's more efficient removal in the game. Like Chaos Arc is technically literally free and is like more efficient removal. But like the fact that aggro gets some of the most efficient removal in the entire game with both Cypher being free and Adea being a free effect is again really silly. I think Ultimecia you're probably going to be running as like a 1 of or maybe like a 2 of, if at all, in this package. I think the core is the 4 cards that you see on the right. That's pretty much all I have to say. I hate this package so much. It's so obnoxious to play against, and I cannot wait for people to figure out how to beat it.
Yep. I think, and Pat can maybe correct me here, every time we've had dredge cards like Narcomoeba and stuff like that, they've been problematic, right? I don't know if Narcomoeba has ever been banned. Has it?
Narcomoeba wasn't banned, but the cards with dredge have been banned. Yeah.
Right. So in this game, that's even a more problematic issue because Raijin and like every forward deals you 1 point of damage regardless of the power, right? So getting any sort of free forward is bad. Getting any sort of free forward with haste is worse. So, I was okay with Fujin. I think Fujin's fine.
Yeah.
Raijin is where I have a problem, but because it's like haste, he gives himself haste. If he gave if it read like Pat read it, where each of them gave each other, and then they both like buff Cypher. Yeah, they both Cypher, but each other they're only 7Ks. That would be fine. But the problem is, since they buff themselves, you can literally just run Fujin and Raijin. Forget Cypher, forget Idea. You could run Fujin and Raijin in a self-mill deck and still have like sometimes 2 free 9K first strike hastes, right? Mm-hmm. Because right, you could run stuff like the Wind Magus Sisters, which now reads EX Burst, play a forward from your deck, right? It's so dumb that they printed these cards. Idea is fantastic. I do like the fact that it's not like fully Amaterasu proof, but it's like if you Amaterasu her, you can then respond with her ability and kill something anyway, right? Like stuff like that is really. It's surprising. The worst of these cards is Ultimecia.
Yeah, I like Adea feels like if they didn't print Raijin, like I would love this package so much more. Like I think Adea is like a fun card.
That's what I'm saying. Like if Raijin wasn't a thing, if Raijin gave like Brave or something, or like
Brave would be,
I don't know.
Brave would be fun because then Cypher is like an 11K that's swinging on, but like it doesn't do it on entry, right? Like that's like where I think the issue is. Like that's where it becomes problematic.
Exactly. You have to like haste him by other means, or if it gave something else, right? Like I don't know, give more power but no effects, right, or something. Give 3,000, or something like that. It'd be hell, give it. It cannot be. I don't know. Its power cannot be reduced. I don't know, but this effect is stupid. Yeah. This package is dumb, and it is dumb. There's also, we already looked at the ice cards, and there's so much possibility here. I know people are trying a lot of the aggro version of this, where they just go ham and go, Cypher, mill, Squall, mill. There's also the possibility to go a little more mid-range. The first thing I thought of when I saw this idea is that this idea searches the Blink Renoa from, what is it, Opus 5 or Opus 4 or whatever. So you can play a backup, then play idea. You can mill 2 cards, minus 4K or minus 8K something, play Renoa, blink this idea, search again, and put 2 cards in the break zone again to do it again. That's so cool. I want that. But this package kind of forces you to go all in, brother. You're just going to get free stuff.
Definitely at the start of the set, for sure. I think maybe as we move later into the set, I'm praying that this becomes slower, but at least for now, it's really, really annoying to play against. We're just going to complain this entire section.
This is just monkey's paw for me, right? Because for the longest time, I've been like, I really like Final Fantasy VIII. They should do something with those cards. And they were like, okay, you asked for it.
Well, if we're trying to think of other ways to use these cards, Adea and Ultimecia are both witches, which is a relevant type. Of course, thanks to Griever from the last set. And also there's like a backup Edea that can search a witch.
There's a cipher forward that can search a witch. The Edea can revive a witch.
Oh, okay.
But there's an EX cipher that searches witches. So if we go like Ice Lightning Griever, right, we can play that cipher and always have access to like Ice Ultimecia, this Ultimecia that has a fantastic S, by the way. It's free and it gives 10,000 loose. That's insane.
Yeah.
It feels so bad. Like if you break the Griever, he gets this Edea and she gets
Okay, so I'm gonna also mention before we just complain like the entire time about this, one thing that I think is really cool that you showed me. There's a card called the Magus Sisters, or what is it called? Magus.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you spell that? Sister. Oh, I still have the lightning filter on. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. It's Opus 9 Magus Sisters, Wind card EX. When this enters the field, you can search for a card and put it into the break zone, and it enters from the deck. So you can play Magus Sisters and then play Fusion, or if you hit Magus Sisters off of EX, Jesus Christ,
that's what I'm saying.
you play Fusion.
What is going on?
And then if it dies, you play it again back to the field, and then you do the same thing again. Yeah,
because these guys will mill other Magus Sisters into your break zone.
Yeah, like right? I think people
need it.
People like brought this up as a meme when the cards were first announced, and now I'm like, wait, like actually, hold on, this seems kind of good. Like Wind Lightning seems like it has a lot of good cards this set, especially the Wind Lightning Cloud kills the other FF8 decks, so it kills the Edea and Cypher, or Edea and like any of the other cards, right? When it's the Wind Lightning Cloud is 4 or more or 5 or more.
It's 4 or less or 5 or more. It's
4 or less or 5 or more.
5 or more, yeah. So actually, then the only card we're killing with the Cloud is Edea, but that's still pretty good. I mean, if they have the Edea on the field, and they probably want it on the field, then you're killing Cloud and another card for 2 CP.
Yeah, you're killing Edea and Cypher for two. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, try it out. It's busted. The art is 10 out of 10, especially that Edea. So.
Well, 5 out of 10 for using the same costume on the Ultimecia Edea.
I want to have a conversation with whoever made that decision.
Especially, I like how the H has better art than the L. Like, come on.
I can guarantee you that artwork was supposed to be here. But
swapped.
But they're like, we can't give FF8 too many artworks, so fine. We already have the no.
I mean, I am glad that they gave all of like the better artwork to the better cards. You know what I mean? I like that they've kind of been doing that.
like that Kane Dragoon.
And that can't. Yeah. Okay.
Hope.
So I'm excited for playing the Ultimecia in my Une Blink deck.
Oh.
It's probably one of the best flicker targets.
Jesus
ever.
Christ. Yeah. So for those who don't know, this isn't until she leaves the field. This is permanent. It's mine.
Mm-hmm. And you're dumping your hand into the break zone for Une as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. that deck gets to 15 cards in break zone by like turn 3. Just by itself.
You also play this Edea, right? It's a fantastic blink target as well. It's so insane.
Well, what FFA cards do you have in your Rainbow Une deck though?
Ultimecia.
The Ultimecia.
Well, other than Ultimecia.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, true. Because you get the S. It
has an S.
Oh.
Yeah, and by the way, Edea doesn't say other than Edea. She can search herself.
All right. All right, I'll leave this to you, Pat.
Yeah.
It's your deck.
I'm on it.
All right. Anything else to complain about with this package before we move on? I think one thing, actually, going back to the FF8 cards that we talked about before, the Squall that plays stuff for free the reason that I think that card is really good at the start, like with the super aggro decks, is because like you can do really silly stuff with like you play the Cloud for Cypher, and then Cypher gets back like the free Renoa, right? And then you have a bunch of cards for the Renoa to play, right? Like there's a lot of like good targets for the Ice Squall. Plus you get to do stuff like selfie. So you can search the you can play the selfie off of the Squall, which means that you don't have to splash for fire, really. You just play the selfie. Or you have Sid Kramer as well in that deck. And the selfie gives the Cypher haste. So just being able to like splash for that super easily is like one of the reasons that I kind of like the Ice Squall. But I've also seen people play like 1 Light Squall and 3 Ice Squall, and then like later in the game you could just search for the Light Squall once you have more FFA forwards. So
give it haste with selfie, and you don't these two things, because why not?
All right. I'm gonna keep complaining about this if we stay on this page. Are we done, or do we have anything else to talk about with this package?
Move to a good card.
All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is kind of a banger. You're right.
It's hyper banger.
All right, we have a 3 CP Sice, job class 0 cadet. If you control 2 or more other job class 0 cadets, the cost required to cast Sice is reduced by 2. And when Sice ETBs, choose a forward. If its cost is equal to or less than the number of job class 0 cadets you control, break it.
So
it's a 7K.
It's funny because every single time I see the cadet art, I'm always like, oh, this card sucks. Like, I don't even read the text on the card. I think this was the first time where I was like, oh yeah, this card sucks, I'm just gonna skip over it. And then like I read it again and I was like, wait a second, we got some banger cadets last set, didn't we?
Yeah.
Wait a second, it's coming together.
Yeah, I am on the camp that Ace from last set is like one of the best cards of that set.
Yeah.
It's so good. It just needed a little more density in cadets, and then this card came out and I'm like, oh my lord, this is so good. Yeah. This costs 1 just by having like the backups. Just most of the time this is gonna be like pay 1, get a 7K, kill a 4, which is overcosted, like undercosted as heck. Originally, like I think most people, I was thinking fire, lightning cadets, but I realized that Wind has very good.
Yep.
Cadets. You have both Rem and Trey, who have EX and get stuff from the break zone, and then that enables Ace and this card. And if you're on Wind Lightning, you're probably having some stormy cards like Cloud and Chocobo, and this card is just insane because it's a 1-cost card, so it gives you a free cast for Cloud, and Chocoboing this back to hand is pretty good. You pay 1, kill something. It's like Ash, right? In mono water. You play it, bounce it, play it for 1, right? So you can play this for 1, Chocobo it back to hand, draw a card, play it for 1. And you are a very, very happy person if you do that. And not even including Atomos in that equation, because with Atomos that becomes like actually busted.
and we were just talking about Wind Lightning Cloud too, right?
Yep. So there's something there, and this card is an absolute banger. And the most important thing, there is no good card named Size.
Yep.
Ever. So this doesn't compete with anything. So cadet players are eating very good.
Yeah, last set I had like Mono Lightning Cadets Chaos Arc built. I don't know, you like I didn't read like any of the Wind Cadets before like this set until you started pointing it out to me, because like I mean they're all like Opus like 1, 2, 3 cards, so it's just like they gotta be bad. But like no, there's like a lot of good Wind Cadets especially in the backup realm.
Yeah, Rem is good, and I think I mentioned this to you. Like,
Yeah.
there's a Diablos.
Yep.
That
I've
deals-
never read this card in my life.
It deals 1k for each character, and if you control a jump class 0 can afford it, you activate 3 backups, so it's free.
It's like
okay.
It's I think its name is slightly different.
It's Diablos, not Diabolus.
Diablos. Nice. Yeah. This what like activates 3 back? Like it's literally free. Like what?
It's literally free, and it kind of works very well with what Wind is doing. Like you Lulu for this, right? If you're Punk Cadets, you Lulu for this, and you get a free
kill. It's almost like the killing stuff with Dryad off Lulu, but like you can just do it in multicolor instead of mono wind.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's not much to say. This card's good, and I think it enables things that we didn't think about in the past.
I didn't realize the last size was Opus 3.
Dang, is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, this is the city I found. Are all that the city? Can we search them with bards? Okay, I'm not.
All right. Now we're.
No, I think some of them are theater rhythm. Like the backup, I think is a theater rhythm one.
Okay.
There's the tray though. The tray backup is DFF. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, bro, we're playing bards 100%, right?
Bro, for what crystal packet payoff? What are we?
Oh my god! Just search something. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm not. No, all right.
Just search. Don't worry about it.
One last thing, because I mean it's kind of related. But I don't know if we mentioned it in the LB section, but the Cloud LB. I think we did talk about the Cloud LBS ability. This is the only deck that I think I've seen that Cloud LB S ability used in was like Wind Lightning.
Yep.
And it was playing Cadets, so shout outs Viridian. Anything else about the Cadets package before we move on?
Nope.
All right. Moving on.
All right, we have a 3CP Drace backup. When Drace enters the field, you can search for a forward of cost 2 or less and add it to your hand.
Bro, this should have been a fire card. Don't at me.
No. I mean, it's a good card. It searches for forward of cost 2 or less. It's category 12 if that matters. If you're ever playing Fran 5 color, I don't know. I foresee this seeing play. It's not limited to lightning, so if you're on lightning ice, you can search like Lastwell or stuff like that. I like this one. Yeah.
It's just like I want to be searching Zidane off this.
No, okay. I should have seen this coming. No, you're not.
I don't know. I would like lightning. I don't know. I guess I'm too used to playing Ice Lightning, where we don't play like any. I mean, the traditional Ice Lightning from the last few sets, where we don't play any 2-cost cards at all.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That might evolve a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I feel like this could have used the EX.
For 2 or less, that's like a better Diana in every single way.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah.
I was just thinking like the 13 backup has an EX, right? The Lumina.
No.
Oh, she's not EX? Oh,
No,
okay,
she doesn't.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is just lightning. What am I talking about? This is good. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
All right,
It
never
searches
mind.
lightning, but so does Lumina, right? So like I guess it's a 4th copy, or it's a second Lumina, I guess. Second name.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if we.
Wind lightning. This searches hope. Hey.
Oh, true. Actually, wait. That could be pretty good because you're going to be off of the other hope too. So you play Lumina and this.
I don't know, man. It's fire wind. I'm stupid. Don't listen to me. Move to the next one.
All right. Cut the VOD. All right, Moth Slasher.
All right, we have a 2 CP monster, Moth Slasher. It is Cat 7, and during your turn, it's a forward with 7k power. And when Moth Slasher is put in the break zone, you can search for a card named Moth Slasher of 2 or less cost and put it onto the field. And at damage 3, it gains plus 1k power.
I have been trying to break this card with Cloud Pod for several days, and I haven't figured anything out. So I'm gonna wait for somebody who's smarter than me to break this with Cloud Pod.
Yep. It's decent for what it does, right? It's like overcosted in the sense of it's like undercosted. It's a 7k forward, quote unquote, for potentially 8k forward for 2. That replaces itself, and like you said, it's category 7. So it's a Cloud Pod target that replaces itself. That's pretty decent. I wouldn't be surprised if this sees play somewhere. The problem is like the problem that a lot of these cards have is like every extra copy you draw is garbage. So we'll see how this goes.
If this could block, man.
You block in this game?
I'm just saying, imagine if instead of saying it's a forward on your turn, if it had the 0 animated.
It would be the most busted thing ever. A 0
cost. But make it like a 3k.
I'd still play that.
I don't know. It's just like you're swinging with it. And so like if you swing with it and then it dies, it's because it got blocked. Like your opponent has to like have exactly a 7k on the board that they're blocking with this. Like, I don't know.
Like imagine preventing your opponent from killing you because you have 3 blockers.
Yeah, but it's just like when are you ever like when is this ever dying? Ever. It's just always on. I mean, I think this forward cycle is really good in general, but like this to me just reads as it's a 7k that says Moth Slasher gains 1k power damage 3. That has the other monster text.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too high. I'm not like as high as some people in these. I think they're very good. Until someone breaks it, I reserve judgment.
Mm-hmm. Like I feel like we got to be sacking it to break it, like to actually put it into the break zone. Like this is never going to the break zone unless we sack it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Kuchelane, Cloud Pod, or is it Kuchelane, Famfrit? The one that Famfrit, the one that you both sack. Yeah. So Water Lightning sack actually does appreciate this, especially because you have that Odin that requires lightning. The lightning characters, and you're playing a bunch of Odins for the lightning meme deck.
Yeah, you could play Realm to search this, and you can also play like there's a 2 CP Reandra that works with monsters, or a 3 CP Reandra that works with monsters. There's options.
I just think Foollander's better.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think that? Before we move on.
I agree with you guys. I'm always a fan of monsters in my Ravana monster deck.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have a way to sack itself, which
Yeah.
is what you're talking about, Chris. Which that deck always wants. So I unfortunately won't be playing this, but excited to see someone break it with the Cloud Pod.
Someone smarter than us.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I think this is the last. Yep.
Mm-hmm. This is a 2 CP Lulu, Job Guardian, Cat X. At the beginning of the attack phase on your turn, you can remove 2 summons in your break zone from the game, and when you do so, choose a forward and deal it 7k. And you can also discard a summon to choose a forward and deal it 5k. And it is itself a 5k.
Does this card suck?
I think it sucks.
I have to agree, which is like super unfortunate.
I know, it's just like I read it and I'm like, bro, it's just like free removal. Like this says like Adea has similar text where you're, but like Adea is not like Adea's feeding the your game plan as opposed to removing the cards that you need from the game plan, and then Adea also does 1 more K damage. Like I mean, this is
if you're playing lightning summons, you're playing Man in Black, and this is sort of a Nambo with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this does feed X Death for what it's worth.
Yeah.
No,
but
X,
also,
X Death doesn't. Oh, you mean you can? Oh, I see.
Like the removing summons feeds
Yeah.
X Death.
you know who else removes summons? And they count for extra?
Irving.
Man in Black.
Man in Black.
Oh, Man in Black.
Yeah.
So, no, I think it's so unfortunate that this artwork is. I'm looking for three followers, by the way, just no reason. It's very. If this reduced power, sure, but the damage is like I don't know.
So
I don't like this card.
So I remember when it was first announced, it was like, oh, isn't this just better Braska? But I feel like this shows why the Braska S ability is like the only way to play that card, right?
Yeah, you wish this was S. Okay, again, it's like Pat is saying. The problem is that the only reason you're playing a high density of summons in a lightning deck is because you're abusing Men in Black. That is one of like the most broken texts ever printed in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And this contradicts what that deck is doing completely. I guess when you get to enough density of summons,
I was about to say that, yeah.
But like at that point in the game, is like 7K doing anything particularly relevant?
Well, you do 7K plus another 5K if you discard a summon. I think that's what they're going for, right? Like it's, this is supposed to do 13K a turn. That's the idea.
Sure.
I don't know.
Or I pay one more CP and kill stuff for like anything else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I pay 4 and just straight up kill something with Seymour. Just straight up kill it, and I threaten damage.
And you exactly.
Like,
it's a Nambo with Seymour too, because Seymour.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Just put this. Yeah, take your full art, put them in a nice little binder, nice little thing, wall art. Because I mean, I'd be very happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah,
but I don't see it.
All right. Anything else to mention before we call it here?
That art, Jesus.
All right. Yeah. So we have one more alignment coming up after this. So thanks for watching, and we got water coming up next. So see ya.